What is up, guys? Welcome to Bears Country Podcast. We have Foster's running a little bit late tonight. We have Nomad from the Nomad Network coming on in just a few minutes. PJ, Walt, how you guys doing?
I'm good, man. How are you? Hope everyone in chat land is doing wonderful. Good to see you guys out there.
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing, Walt?
I'm doing swell.
You're doing swell, huh? As always.
Yeah.
Let's get to chat here, PJ.
I'd like to welcome my normals in the chat. We have Gruel Ha 7, Cliff Victoria, Doug Van Dorn, Antmus, guy named Mr. Shorty. I gotta figure out who that guy is. And am I missing anybody?
Mr. Mayhem, PZ, just hopping in right now.
Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys.
Guys, thanks for joining us. You are the reason why we do this. So thank you so much. Before we bring on our guest tonight, I want to talk about Cliff Victoria and the amazing meal that he made for us when he invited Kitty and I over to his house this weekend. And I got a couple of videos for you that I want to share with you really quick before we get into this, because it was a remarkable meal that neither of us will ever forget. In fact, I'm going to make crab legs again after this. So check this out. Explain to me what's going on right here.
What's going on right here? Arr, matey, we're doing a seafood boil. Arr.
Oh, it was a pirate themed party.
That was pretty good.
Thank you, Lassie. Arr. So we are getting right down to the end. We got shrimp to go yet. We got some lobster. We got some crab. We've got some mussels. We've got some sausage.
Oh yeah.
We've got potatoes and corn.
Oh yeah.
It's all going to be dumped out on the table in front of us so we can eat it off the table. Arr.
Excellent. Yeah, the table is all set up right there for that. Look at that. Getting ready to throw all that on the table.
And here come the mussels and the shrimp, huh?
Argentinian red shrimp.
The mussels are done. This is just the shrimp.
Yes. Correct, matey.
All right, here's the next one.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's too cool.
This guy went all out for a party for us with this delicious meal. And then here's the final video. Why isn't this playing? Do I have to remove that one? Let's try this one. Can you play that last one, Walt?
This one?
Yeah, there we go.
Guys, here we go. Shorty came down to see me. Arr, mateys, we're doing a feast. We're doing a sea boil. Here's what we have going on today. Woohoo!
Look at us with our pirate hats on. They're like we're buccaneers. Come on, Cliff. Why'd you make us wear buccaneer hats that day? That's the question I have for you.
Shepard looked like he was ready to eat too.
Oh man, it was so freaking good. Cliff, thank you so much. I just wanted to acknowledge that you are the man. That was very generous of you, and we had a great time, and thank you so much. Guys, we don't have much time with Nomad tonight because he is a busy man, but we want to bring him on the show and talk some Bears with him. So let's bring on Nomad.
Yo. Hey, you know what? As a matter of fact, I couldn't get to you in time, but guess what, man? So my girlfriend got IVO, so that's a involuntary off day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she expected to be off, and probably about 30 minutes ago, she got a call. Somebody had to go home for something, got sick. I don't know whatever happened, but she had to leave. And so here I am now. You know, I planned the whole night. And she's pissed off, but here I am. Never mind. So we don't really have to put no time limit on nothing, man. We're here. You want to talk some Bears? We can do it. What's up, Pete Jack? What's up?
What's up with your no mizzle?
What's good? I didn't know Cliff was Long John Silver, man. What's going on there?
I didn't either. Man, it's good to have you on the show with us, Nomad. You guys were so generous to have me on the show with you guys, and so I wanted to return the favor, man. It's about time we have you on the show. So thank you very much for joining us, man.
Yeah, it's no problem. Hey, what's up, everybody in the chat? I see you guys. Ken, Evie, I see Vizzo Joe, who was at Cliff. I see Ken, Schaefer, PZ, Heidi. What's up, Heidi? Jay Grizz, Doug Van Dorn. I haven't seen you in a while at the show, Doug. Man, I need to see you, bro.
Evie Bear Down Davis hopping in with us. Jay Grizz, great to see you. Heidi, hope you're doing well.
Heidi, Evie, what's happening? James Ford, Jay Griggs
hopping in with us. So Nomad, you just been killing it over there on your show, man. I'm proud of you guys. You guys have been doing a great job over there, man. It's like, just tell us a little bit about your show. How's it going over there?
Man, it's going great, but it's work, and it's you know what, we got into it to really try to raise the level of Bears content, and you know I got fortunate, man. To be honest with you, it's not just me, it's the team. It's the team of people we have over there. But, you know, looking back on it, here we are about 9 months out, 10 months or something like that. I don't know. Looking back on it, I didn't realize now until just recently that really it was rushed because we wanted to hurry up and get out there and get some content out there. But at that time, I was looking back on it. I know now that we were just basically barely laying the foundation, and we had to learn how to produce content, how to present content, how to message and do all the stuff that we're doing. But now that we've done that, now we pretty much where the Bears are right now. We just laid the foundation. We're about to start putting up some damn walls now. And so whatever do you think of the Nomad Network right now, just wait until you see what's in the pipeline.
That's awesome, man. You guys have been doing a great job over there, man. Just swiftly getting it going. You know, it's a lot of work. I mean, this is not easy to do. So kudos to you guys for the job that you guys are doing over there, man. Seriously.
I just want to send a special shout out to all the people. I just found out that I just fortunate enough to have talented people around me. Everybody there is talented. And shout out to super producer Chris, Ked, Samo, our newest guy, Keith. Sean is over there helping out, man. It's just a bunch of people. Nick and Brian, man, he's coming along too. He's learning how to produce, and so we just got fortunate, man, to have talented people, and we're just now figuring out what everybody's capable of doing, and we all just pile in together, man, and try to produce great stuff, man.
Are you guys doing a show every day, or how you guys go about doing your shows these days?
Monday through Friday, Mondays and Fridays at 3, and then Tuesday through Thursday at 1 Central.
Okay.
And then Sundays we do
daily like midday content, huh?
Yeah. And then Sundays Nomad at night. Yeah, we were doing too much content, man. I was burnt, bro. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
I tell you, I hear you, man.
Yeah. It's all fun, man. It's you be tired as you want to be, but when the lights come on and it's time to go, you see all these people in the chat like they are on your show right now. They just give you that energy. So just turn it on.
Cool.
How you feel about the Bears right now, man?
Man, I feel great, man. I think Pose is, like I told you when we first started doing your show. I felt then when they hired those people that the stars would start to align for us. It didn't happen quite as fast as we thought it might, but I think where we are is exactly where we need to be, and I think everything is starting to just kind of fall into place, man. Especially this signing for with Jaylon. I thought the timing was perfect. It's getting ready to go into free agency, gives them time to really concentrate on that. But the message it sends, not only to the locker room, great for Jaylon because he's getting generational wealth. But I'm talking about, what does it send to the free agents that are out there that may want to come here? Oh, this guy pays. This guy pays. He said that he was going to pay the guy. He paid the guy. So it bodes well for us.
I was talking to Swifty on the phone earlier, and he was the one who actually told me about the deal. And as soon as he told me that, it kind of like uplifted my spirits because I was like, think about it. Here he is signing a very good cornerback for less than $20 million a year for 4 years. See, I was thinking that he was going to try to demand something like $23, $24 million. I thought that's what he was demanding. So for us to be able to get him for less than 20 at 19, I'm very happy with that.
PJ, you know what I think happened? I think he absolutely was demanding that much. But I think Poles found a way to front load it. he pushed 54 million in his face. Put all that in front of him, right there up front. Say, look at your bank account. You're not going to get exactly what you want, that big, I'm the highest paid cornerback in the league money, but you're going to get the most pushed in your lap right away. So I think that's probably what put it over the top.
Yeah.
That was a good deal. Like, wasn't the news first that he was franchised?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
That lasted what, 24 hours?
Yeah, not even, right? And now he's got a contract. And that was what we all wanted to see happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best thing in the world for us, for him. I just want to see, and I was talking about this earlier when we did the breaking news on it. What I'm looking forward to is, to me, I think not Jaylon, but Bojack set the template on how to lead on that team. Bojack and Jaylon became very, very close. And so with Bojack, everybody hung out at Bojack's house. So, Bojack had the big old crib, and when they had downtime, everybody piled in over his house. He fed everybody, and they just hung out. Now he's going to become that. Yeah. And so it's his time. He's really got to step up and take on that leadership role and put that C on his chest and be that. Yeah. So by all accounts, they say that he's been doing that all along and is really coming along. Jaylon was different, man. When he first got there, he's very snarky, very standoffish with reporters. Yep. Just, being, stuff that young people do, man, people his age. And you can see him, just like Bojack, you could see him gradually becoming mature. I think he had a kid, and I think that changed a lot in him.
The one thing that they all have in common is they have to deal with the Chicago media.
Oh, yeah, man. That makes you a certain kind of snarky, man.
Absolutely, man. It makes all of us a certain kind of snarky too, right? I mean, it's half the reason why we do this is because that media just pisses us off.
Man, I've been on a crusade on the media, man. You don't even want to know.
I bet you have. We have been from the beginning of doing this together, and it's the media is what I think drives the podcasting world, because we're all so sick of the BS that they're putting out. It's why it's so hard for me to believe that, and we don't really want to talk quarterback again, but we haven't heard your opinion of it, so we've agreed to we're just going to keep this to a minimum. But I made a bet with my buddy, who I never win bets against, and this is the bet that I think I'm going to win, is that we are not trading Justin Fields. We are not drafting Caleb Williams. This is the lying season. It's the smokescreen season. So to me, the more and more I hear about Caleb Williams being drafted by the Bears, the more and more I believe that he's not going to be.
So if you want my answer to that, just think about it in this. Let's just cut it back just a little bit and really dissect it. Think about this. Jaylon Johnson, if we were thinking about being a team that's going to push for something 2 or 3 years from now, I don't think we can afford Jaylon Johnson. I think Jaylon Johnson is moved on. You got to let him go, because we're not really going to be competitive, we don't think, for the next couple 2 or 3 years, which you would probably be with a rookie quarterback. Because they think they are. I always tell people when I do these shows, whenever this subject comes up, all you have to do is look at the 2 Detroit games who almost ended up in the Super Bowl. We kicked the snot out of them twice. They got away with one. The Cleveland game we should have won. There are signs there that says that, I can imagine Poles and Eberflus meeting one-on-one after the season, after evaluating everything and sitting in front of each other and saying, what do you think we are? Do you think that you saw enough trending up so that we should build and we feel like we can compete come next year and really push for something? And I think I just look at the tape on my own. I'm just a tape junkie, but I believe in what I see. And I believe that the trends were very high. And when you can do that to Detroit twice, they did that to them twice. I know they look like crap in the Green Bay games, but there were reasons for that too. I studied this season, man, and I think after Justin Fields came back from that injury, and there was a whole bunch of hubbub about Justin Fields could learn something from Tyson Bagent. I actually think he did.
I agree.
I think it gave him time to really reflect on how he's delivering the ball and how he might be holding on to it a little bit too long Take some of those dump downs and get the ball out of your hand. Don't give yourself a chance to get put down on the ground and get stripped. And so you start to see him do that, man. He's just really matriculating that ball down the field and just pushing the ball. And I started to see that more and more often. And that was part of the trending up. You start to see the defense turn up. You start to, I mean, there were things in this year's tape that tells me that I bet when they sat across from each other, they said, I like what we got. Let's build on it. Let's build on it. Let's go out here and get some pieces. Let's see if we can trade and get some capital and really, really layer this roster, because I keep hearing Flute say and Poe say, if you listen to him at press row over and over again, you heard them say we need depth. So you ain't getting no depth with no damn 5 picks.
No,
ain't that the truth?
I'm just
brick by brick too, right? You're not going to get brick by brick with 5 picks.
Doesn't make Shorty. How you going to get depth with 5 picks?
Right.
And then you got to draft Caleb. Now you're down to 4.
Yeah. And you're looking for one more good one with the second first, and then you're missing a second in the sweet spot.
Man,
going down to third.
Look at where they're drafting, man. You're not gonna get quality depth, man. This draft is as deep as I've seen it at so many different positions. Offensive tackle is deep, especially right tackle. It's very right tackle dominant. But we have a situation where I know people don't want to hear it. We have a guy that we can flip to the left side, because the only reason Darnell Wright played the right side was because of an injury. If you don't believe that, go look at the 2021 game against Tennessee, Alabama, and tell me he can't play left tackle. It's the best team against the country. I mean, he just basically dominated everybody threw at him. And so, to me, I think it being right tackle heavy, I think they go high at a tackle. I think and this is right after they get a receiver. They go receiver, tackle, and they go back in at receiver because it is so deep. And so that's the way I see the thing playing out.
You don't see them addressing defense early?
I think they move and get a edge in free agency.
Okay.
And then I think somewhere in there between second and third round, they might, depending on the value of the guys on the board, they may get another young guy and bring him on up. But I don't think they're going to draft it as high as you think.
Okay.
I agree with you. I think they're going free agency for defensive line as well.
Yeah.
Well, who would you choose?
As far as DNs?
Yeah.
Danielle Hunter.
Man, you know what? I come a long way on that one, because I thought the best one, pure pass rusher, was Verse. Latu is a strong second, but I'll tell you one that's really until I saw him out of pads and saw his real body type, the kid Dallas Turner, man, he's got the ability to put on Khalil Mack type muscle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his body type, if you look at him real good, man, he can put it on from I always look at upside being the waist down. That kid can put on 10, 15 pounds and won't slow down. Won't lose quickness.
Do you think they're going draft for defensive end or free agency?
No, I think they're going free agency. I think if they draft a defense, he asked me which one I thought was the best.
Oh, sorry.
And I was just kind of describing what I thought about him, but I don't think early is the way to go for them. I think they'll do that in free agency, man, because the defensive ends in free agency I've never seen that many really high quality defensive ends hit free agency in a long time. They usually don't let those guys get away because it's hard to find them in the draft. You know, it's so hard to find really talented defensive ends that can one, rush the passer with regularity and get pressures, and two, that can capture the edge. And so it's hard to find that combination in a draft. And then we got so many of them hitting free agency, they got to take advantage of that. Get at least one.
So who would you target in free agency as that defensive end?
Well, it's two ways to think about it. Got to remember we got a new defensive coordinator who's got Buffalo connections, and quite a few of their guys have hit free agency.
Mm-hmm.
So if they take one big swing at it, I think it's Danielle Hunter, and they don't even think twice about it. If they feel like it's going to cost them too much to get him, I think they take 2 swipes at it in free agency. They go two mid-tier guys. Mid-tier guy, maybe a lower-tier guy. Somebody like AJ Epinesa, maybe take a swing at Jadeveon Clowney or something.
Okay. All right. Because I was of the opinion that Poles is doing it like if I spend big money on Sweat, I'm not going to spend big money on another defensive end, being Daniil Hunter. So I could see him going after a lesser.
Oh, go ahead, say it.
No,
Chase
I was actually going to say Leonard Floyd, but then I was going to say Chase Young after that. But yeah, but I was going to say Leonard Floyd,
I was waiting for that.
Chase Young, but someone around that price range, and then actually go after a defensive end early. After trading down the number 9 pick, going after a defensive end then, because I think in the draft, and you would probably know better than me, in the draft, I think defensive ends are like top heavy, not necessarily. It's not necessarily a deep class, but you're like top 5 is pretty solid.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about the way I see it. I think it's a couple of ways to look at this, man. I think that the temptation of just think about how much you saw how much better Montez Sweat made this defense.
Right.
Imagine putting somebody equally as dominant on the other side of him and having that opportunity to do it. And you know how the defensive backs benefited, the linebackers benefited. I mean, you start to see a change in Justin Jones. Justin Jones cranked it up a notch. And so imagine putting another equally dominant piece over there. I think the temptation might be a little too great from the pass on. I heard that, it's strong, connections from Chicago to Daniil Hunter. Don't know how true it is, but seen that multiple times. Would not surprise me if they took a big swing at him.
Would not me either, but it wouldn't surprise me. What do you think about the possibility of signing Yannick?
I mean, if that's a good backstop.
I mean, he got a lot of slack for his lack of production last year until Sweat came to the team, and then when he had somebody opposite of him, he produced. He was playing a lot better. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I think Chris would probably want to wrestle you right now because he can't stand. He's like, what have you done for me lately? Nope, get him out of here. I don't want him.
You talking about C Sharp?
Yeah, he don't want him nowhere around the team, man. You don't want to hear it. I argue with him almost every day about it, but yeah, I think Giannis might have got misrepresented. I mean, you think about this, man. This dude has been on doing 1-year contracts, and he's moving his family around, and I mean, you basically a hired mercenary, and you don't really have any security, but you're getting money. You're getting $10 million a year, and but that's you just meandering from team to team. I don't know how much his heart was into it. I think if you got down to it, and you offered him another year or two, I think you might see a different kind of Yannick that can really settle down and really, see what Chicago is, see what the real culture of Chicago is, and really become a Bear. And I don't think he felt like he could do that in a year. And so I think that's a Yannick we saw. And that's just my estimation on what he put on the table.
Yeah, I don't think you get offered another $10 million. I think you get.
Oh no, he's definitely not getting 10. More like 6 to 8.
Right.
Yeah, but if you give him 6 to 8 for 2 years, would that help it?
Well, it's all about how much money you push in his face. How much money you're going to push in his face. That's what all football players want now because there are no guaranteed contracts. Push the front end money in front of them and see what they do.
What do you think about the trade we just made for the guard from the Bills? A guy that Ryan Poles has been looking at here for the last couple of years. Well,
I watched him when they came here. They went after him, and the Bills matched the offer. But when they signed him, I thought he was a Bear, and so I went and started doing a study on him, and I like what I saw. So since we grabbed him this time, I went back and saw the most recent tape. Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Everybody's poo-pooing. What is Ryan Poles giving up draft picks for? A backup this and man, listen. That dude can play absolutely every position on the line. Every one of them. Only one that I didn't see him do, and I'm being honest, I watched him the entire night from about 7. No, I take that back. Probably 11 to about 4 in the morning, so I can be prepared on doing the next show. I'm telling you, he played center, left guard, left tackle, right guard. The only position he did not play was right tackle. And I'm not saying that he can't. Anytime you can get a guy that versatile, position versatile, that's a gold mine to a coach.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have injuries, attrition is gonna happen, guys are gonna miss games, and you have a stopgap guy that can get you out of games you can pretty much put anywhere. And so for what they paid him, I mean, dude, I don't know what people are complaining about. A 5th rounder can make the team or not make the team in 2 weeks, and you just wasted it. And so you know what you're getting out of this guy. So don't complain about it.
Especially because he knows he's going to get more picks in this draft by trading that first pick.
Of course, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Only thing I would push back on is I thought it was a decent enough move. But after watching what Buffalo did today by releasing 6 of their vets, I'm wondering was Bates was going to be a part of that 6 and be another one they would have released anyway.
Well, too bad they ain't sending them a memo. It's not like GM.
That's what I said. I mean, that's what I said. I can't really gripe about it, but I'm just wondering in my head, did he just act a little bit too quickly?
Yeah, we'll never know, PJ.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. You have to be one of those cap experts to kind of tell that Buffalo was gonna take some hits. I just didn't know they were going to take as many, and definitely not a starting center. The defense I could kind of see coming a mile away. Some of those guys were aging out, Poyer, some of those other guys on that defense, man. I could see that coming. But a starting center and your best backup, nah, couldn't have seen that coming.
Yeah.
But Walt, anything to add to that? I'm talking to chat right now. Sorry, I missed what you guys just said.
No, I think it was a fine trade. I mean, I liked him when we went after him in 21. So, like Nomad, you said, it's a 5th round pick. Who cares?
So he's replacing what's his name?
Whitehair.
No, Patrick.
Well, no, he'd probably be doing the white hair job of guard combo center.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't want him as my starting center right now.
So we have no center still.
He can fill in.
Yeah, we have one in the pinch. I think it places you in a position to where you don't have to overspend in free agency or overdraft. I think that's what he does for you. He gives you a position to where, okay, if I can get this particular guy in free agency for the price I want, cool. If not, I can wait for the draft. If I can't get the guy I want immediately, I can fall back to another plan. So he gives you a safety net, for the lack of a better term.
I mean, all I really care about is they address the position this year. It's high time.
Wasn't the initial signing for Bates over Patrick to be our center?
Yeah, 4 years.
Okay,
4
so
years of $4 million apiece.
He's our center now.
I'm telling you, if you watch enough of this guy's tape, I'm telling you, you'll be giddy. You'd be giddy if you watch enough tape. This kid is extremely athletic, man. I mean, extremely. He moves so well, and the way he flexes from position to position, like effortlessly, man. He's out there playing left tackle with alligator arms and winning. This dude, man, I'm telling you, man, he's an undrafted free agent, just fought and scrapped his way and earned the respect, and just keeps getting better and better and better. I'm telling you, you scour the tape enough, you're gonna realize we got a solid piece. Wherever his job ends up being, I'll be comfortable watching him, whatever role he plays.
Yeah,
that's why I just automatically assumed he was our starting center now, as of the moment. He's replacing Patrick. He has to be.
As of right now, today, yes.
Yes,
but I don't foresee him necessarily continuing that role throughout. That's what I'm saying. If Poles sees somebody else in free agency that he can obtain for the price he wants and who he thinks is better, this move will not stop him from going after that guy.
Yeah.
Could you imagine in a world, and it would not be a bad idea, if they actually went after Morse too.
Yes.
You just fixed the interior of your line.
How old is Morse?
Morse
Like
is
32. Just about.
32.
With the intention of getting a center somewhere in the draft. It's pretty thick at center too.
Well, see, I'm convinced more than ever now that I don't see Poles signing anyone 30 or above. I just don't see it. I think he is really going young.
PJ,
We've said that for years now.
Every one of my co-hosts keeps saying the same thing, but he hasn't set that precedent yet. But this is a good time to get you some veterans, man. When you think you can make a run at something, it's good to have a couple mixture of veterans here and different on every level. You need a veteran. To me, you need veterans in every room, in my opinion. I don't care how talented your young guys are. You need veterans to keep them coming along, man. I think, especially like the safety class. Oh my God, it just got thick. It just got the free agency safety class. I am telling you, man, it is thick.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you look at Simmons, I think he's 30. Then Poyer is 32. I don't foresee Poles going after those guys because that sweet spot he is about 26, 27, 28 years old.
I think it's about the price, PJ, to be quite honest with you. I think if he feels like he can get somebody like Simmons, Bayard, or Geno Stone, or even Xavier McKinney is one of my favorite ones. He's young. He's only 26 years old.
He'd probably be the one.
So is Geno Stone, about the same age. If you can get, depending on how he's looking at it, I mean, you can get. I really like Justin Simmons. I think he's a Flus guy through and through. I think he's older, but I still believe 100% they're going to draft a safety. My guy is Dominique Hampton from Washington.
Dominique from where?
Washington, man. You got to check him out, man.
I seen you talk about a guy. I was watching a show because I normally catch your show later on, so I don't get a chance to always join your chat. But I seen you was talking about a guy from let me pronounce his name. I ain't gonna pronounce his name. It was a weird. It was a difficult name to pronounce. Ote
Keaton Oladapo.
Yes, him.
Yeah, that's the safety from. I think, where is he from? Either Oregon State. I think Oregon State. Oh yeah,
yes,
he's a freak show, man.
Yeah, I heard you talk about him. That's what I was going to ask you your opinion. I mean, is he more of a strong or a free safety?
That's the best thing about him. He's a guy you can flex. He's a big kid, about 6'2". I'd say about 205, 210 pounds. But he can definitely play sideline to sideline Eddie Jackson. You see the speed on him. You watch those. All you got to do is watch a highlight or two. You'll be, oh my goodness. But
I've seen him at the combine.
Yeah,
seemed like he ran decently at the combine.
He's the kind of guy Flus would go after, sideline to sideline guy. Plays just as well in the box, versatile as hell, man.
Okay.
You look like you had something to say about 2 minutes ago, Walt.
Oh no, I was talking to Doug Van Dorn about his Cole Bishop pickup. So I mean, he's one of my guys, and he did really good at the combine. So I'm hoping.
I see Cliff saying that the Bears need to go sign Derrick Henry or Josh Jacobs. I think that the Bears need a speed back right now. Personally, they need what's his name, Bucky Jones or whatever from Oregon.
Bucky Irving.
Yeah, somebody with speed.
I was looking at some of their their speed because I think he wasn't as fast as like that Trey Benson from Florida State or even the guy from Louisville. So
Isaac,
yeah, I just think that Bucky, he's not as wiggly. I mean, he may have some speed, but he doesn't have that elusiveness per se. And none of those speed guys really show me a lot of elusiveness. Yeah, once they hit that hole, they can go, but that wiggliness to be able to juke somebody out of the hole, I don't see a lot of that. And I think that's what we're kind of missing. Because even with Khalil Herbert, he's a one cut and go sort of guy. I don't see not a lot of wiggleness to him.
Yeah.
You didn't see that? You didn't see that in Bucky?
I didn't see that in Bucky. No, I mean, to me, when I seemed like his feet was a little bit slow for me, as far as actually shiftiness enough to miss getting hit.
I'd have to disagree with that one now, P. Jack.
Hey, I'm more. I don't have a problem with you disagreeing with me at all. I mean, that was just my take. I just didn't see it. I didn't see that shifty.
J2K saying that Bucky ran a 4.6-ish though.
Oh, he never had long speed. I didn't see that on tape studying him. Never had long speed, but his agility in holes and left and right, that lateral movement, man, he's different when it comes to that. He just doesn't have that. He's like, all right, you remember number 28 with the Patriots, that he was always there when they were winning championships. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head.
Dylan?
Who?
The guy from Cincinnati? Dylan?
No, the little scat back that he was always dumping off to all the time.
The third down back, White was his name.
Yeah, there he is, White. He's just like that, man. He's just like that. When you're back there and you're scanning the field, you ain't got nowhere to go, dump it off, boom, 7-10 yards. That's what Bucky Irvin is. That third down back, you got a 3rd and 8, and you need to, you need to put every threat on the field. And when you don't see what you need to, boom, drop it off to him 7-8 yards. You're good. That's what he is. He's not an every down back. Doesn't have great long speed, but he is agile and quick as a cat, man. He is quick, quick.
But he does. See, I'm looking more for a guy like a Warwick Dunn. That's what I'm actually looking for, more like that. And I don't see that in Bucky.
Okay. There's other guys now, man. There's quite a few guys, man.
I mean, even the guys who showed that speed, they don't necessarily show that elusiveness like Warwick Dunn. So yeah, I don't see it.
You want me to give you a sleeper, P. Jack?
Go ahead.
This is cat nobody talks about, but he led the nation in rushing. I'll give you 2 guys. One of my favorites is Cody Schrader. He led the SEC in rushing. Little guy from Missouri, man. He doesn't have that long speed, but I'll tell you what you'll see when you watch him. You'll start seeing shadows of Christian McCaffrey watching him run.
Okay.
Just he's strong, good contact balance, and he's really good in the hole, can make you miss. I mean, he's worth watching him. But I tell you, a guy that nobody's talking about, and he led the nation in rushing out of Troy.
Does McCaffrey have a wide receiver brother in this draft?
He's got I don't know.
Yeah, he does. Luke
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Is that his brother?
That's his brother?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know it was his brother. Yeah, he's out there. He's pretty good too. But this kid named Kamani Vidal from Troy. Yeah, hey man, I'm telling you, if you haven't heard about him, I'll say the name one more time. Kamani Vidal from Troy. I'm telling you, he's gonna open up some eyes. Another cat is a cat from Louisville. I don't know his name right off the top of my head.
Isaac Garindo, I believe.
Nope.
That's one of J2K.
That's one of them, but there's another guy.
Oh, was it Jahar Jordan?
Jahar Jordan. Boom. There it is. Good job, Walt. That's definitely him. Very explosive, man. He's a 60-yarder waiting to happen.
So with that being said, I mean, you have these like guys in the draft that you can possibly get later on. Do you really want to spend money on a running back in this free agency?
I think. All right. We just went over this in the breaking news, but I don't mind repeating it, man. Look.
We appreciate that for us dummies over here.
No, man. You remember when we were at the bar room? How many times have you heard me repeat? We need to target. I wanted to target him last year, talking about Josh Jacobs.
Oh God, you're on Josh Jacobs still?
Man, dude, I meant it then. I mean it now, man. I watched that dude make Flus look like the saddest man with the tiniest violin in the world. I watched him. He just took the air out of the stadium a couple of times when he was the coach DC. And it wasn't that Flus didn't have the right stuff dialed up. He just didn't. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't do anything. This dude. We got some pretty good backs. That dude is special. That dude is special. We fashion ourselves as Chicago tough. You need to have a running game that matches the design that you set out to create. And we got some pretty decent backs, but we don't have a Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs is nice.
So like Christian McCaffrey put San Fran over the top.
Yeah,
he could do that for us. That's
how
what
much
we're talking about.
How much?
Now, see, I'm no cap expert. You might have to talk to Brad Spielberg about that.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm a fan of Josh Jacobs. I mean, out of all the free agent running backs, he would be the one I would want to go after. But I'm just not of the opinion I want to spend a lot of money.
There's mutual interest too. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of your thing where you was mentioning that, and it's like that's what I'm saying. I mean, but I don't want to spend a lot of money on that position, given the fact that you got all these free agents and then you got all these guys in the draft. So do I really want to spend a lot of my resources on that position?
Well, PJ, you got to ask yourself, do you want to spend $10.5 million a year? Because that's his market value right now.
Is that what that's about right, man? You know, I would even go up to 12 for him.
For Josh Jacobs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think there are 4 backs in the league. It's a lot of really good ones that are right up there with him, but there are 4 of them that stands out to me. I go from the least to first, in my opinion. Probably Aaron Jones from Green Bay. Probably let me see. Who is it? Aaron Jones, probably Jonathan Taylor, probably Josh Jacobs and Christian McCaffrey, in my opinion. Those are the best backs in the league. And when you get a chance to get a dude like that you know absolutely can take the air out of the stadium and just absolutely put the game on his back and put that win on the board, you go get it. I'm telling you, man, you think I'm kidding? Go look at some of those Indianapolis games and watch Flu standing over there on the sideline. He knows what he can do.
He's a talent. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, Josh Jacobs is a real good talent, but again, all that money. That's
a little long in the tooth too for a running back.
Man, the cat just coming out of his rookie contract. How old?
Man, you know what, Nomad? You and Josh Jacobs is like PJ here and freaking Chase Young, dude. You just gotta let it go.
Chase Young? Did you say Chase Young?
Right, how about this? How about this, Shorty? This is how you flip it on him. This is how you flip it on him, PJ. Right now, if we had
on me, yeah. Let me hear it.
You had the opportunity to get Christian McCaffrey, would you not jump on it? See that hesitation?
Yeah,
got him. Pickle.
But no, I got one better for you. He's saying you're like Josh Jacobs, like he likes Tyson Bagent.
Oh, all I do is I put the pontificating thought into your brains and I try to give you like a little brain worm with it. That's all. Just something to think about that you might not have thought about. It's not like I'm for him.
I think about him 24/7.
I don't think we're gonna be able to keep him. Tell you the truth, Shorty.
Hopefully we can trade him for some draft picks.
I think he was Getsy's guy all the time, and I think he's gonna probably try to get a move made to get him at some point.
All right. So since he brought up Tyson Bagent, what do you think of Tyson Bagent?
Oh God,
I can't believe we're doing this.
Man, we gonna do that, man.
Come on. Hold on. Let me finish. Footwork, timing, anticipation on throws. Throws.
All right, let's go back to Josh Jacobs.
Hey, man, I like this dude, Walt, man.
So, yeah, PJ, man, Josh Jacobs is only 26.
I have to go on the Bauer Network.
Okay.
Finish the thought.
Man, oh, my God. You know what? Let me go ahead and answer him, man. Get this out of him. Look, man, I'm never gonna come out here and shit on that kid, man. I think the kid's talented. I think the kid is I think be quite frank with you. He's probably I don't think he's gonna be
all right. Nomad's getting pulled now.
I get pulled out. I think he's a solid backup, man. I think he man, I wish the world I think he's got good talent, man, but I don't think he's got NFL arm strength, man.
Well, that's what my entire pontification was. What if his arm strength gets stronger? And listen, I only came back to this full circle was because I've been watching the Dynasty about the Patriots, and they're talking about, they had recently, not quite as soon as one might think, but within 5 years, they had signed Drew Bledsoe to a $100 million 10-year contract or something like that. And now he's going into like year 6, and here comes Brady, and he gets injured on a stupid. We all remember what happened. And then Brady comes in, and he's kind of figuring it out, but he wins some games, and then Belichick just rolls with him. So my brain just went to like, what if, I like to pontificate. You've been around for the pontification, Nomad. Yeah. So you can at least appreciate that from our days together. It's just a thought. What if his arm strength was better? That's all I'm asking. Like, I know he's a backup right now, but let's just say, everything that happens, we think is going to happen. We keep Justin. Justin goes down for 4 more games this year. Tyson Bagent plays 4 games and he wins all of them. And he throws for, more touchdowns than anyone could have thought, and yards and more receivers and blah, blah, blah. But his arm strength is noticeably better. Is it something?
Hair Bear.
Pontificate. I'll pull myself. I'll let you.
No, I'm not going to pull. I wasn't going to pull you. I'm just like,
hey, Walt,
Hair Bear, come save me.
Hey, you the producer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to make sure this guy doesn't stumble off into the weeds, man.
There's no stopping that, man.
I just get right off the cut off at the head.
We've had the same conversation 20 times in a 2-week period.
No man said, don't make sure you don't go just stumble off into the weeds.
Fall right into the weeds, right?
I'm going to promise you, this is all on video. If that thing does happen, and my what if actually comes true, and we can sit here and go, well, I guess I'll pull all you at the same time. You're like, look, I'll take the screen myself and be like, it was just a pontification, but I was not wrong for pontificating it. That's all.
I guess that's never going to happen. So it really doesn't matter what your bet is, Shorty. I mean, every week you bring this up, and I try to. I think to myself, like, maybe he's going to change this a little bit. We're going to talk about something different, and then I get egg on my face.
No, he's stuck on something. He's stuck there, man. He ain't going no damn where.
There's a couple things I do like about him. I don't like his arm strength, but everything else I do, and that's where I keep going. Well, what if? That's all. It's not.
No, you like you said, you keep going.
Well, unlike you keep going for Chase Young, you I don't pontificate Chase Young on this team no matter what. I'm just saying, well, what if?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can mention Chase Young and not have to mention anything else about him. You'll mention Tyson Bagent, and then you give this same scenario. Well, what if Justin goes down and he comes in and he be this super miraculous guy?
I get pulled again.
I feel for y'all, man. He's doing this every week. Oh, man.
Cliff saying, what if Bears trade for Mahomes?
I honestly don't think that's his biggest fantasy is Tyson Bagent coming in and dropping 15 touchdowns in 3 games.
Oh, Lord. Bagent, he's going to – depends, man, on how many draft picks we get. I think they could end up drafting a quarterback. It might just be later.
Why is everybody else got?
Sorry, that was I was trying to type in chat and it took over. It must have been a script on the screen.
To see my face. That's all I'm saying.
At least when you talk about Chase Young, he did win Defensive Rookie of the Year in his rookie season, unlike Tyson Bagent, who did next to nothing.
That's another name I wouldn't be surprised if they went after too.
Yeah.
What name was that? Nomad?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think they wanted Chase Young, and I think they always wanted Chase Young. I think they I don't know if the price was too much. What surprised me, and Samuel used to be like, man, Montez Sweat is the guy. I'm like, yeah, I know he is, but he's the healthy one, and that's the one they won't ever let go of. He's too young. I didn't think there was a chance in hell. Because I used to get mad at Samuel for bringing it up. I'm like, Samuel, you keep bringing this up week after week. Dude, they are not letting him go. They'll let Chase go because he's had injury history, but not Montez. But they let him. How Poles was able to get that dude, I think probably ought to be a 30 for 30 because I want to know how you did it. I would have never gave up Montez Sweat if I'm them. He's a rebuilding piece. If you're rebuilding your team, which they are doing right now, that's the kind of piece you start with.
I wonder though, reason why they didn't go after Chase is because they probably wanted to have their doctors look at him. And I don't know if you can do that in the trade prior to. I don't know if that was possible. So now in free agency, I can see them bringing him in, have their doctors look at it and go, okay, it's a yay or a nay.
Yeah, but PJ, look at the Ryan Bates trade. They even said in their release that it was contingent on a physical. So,
yeah, right. Physical, yes.
You could have done that same thing with Chase Young.
I would not be surprised if they ink him, if something happens where Danielle Hunter ends up being a little too rich for him. You know, word is that could cost upwards of $28 million.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that at all.
Yeah, I could see. Here's the thing. Here's the tricky thing about it, PJ, fellas. You have to be thinking about this. Your toughest competition is probably Detroit right now, and they're after him. You got to, if you had to, you might have to make a decision that you don't necessarily want to, because you want to make sure you neuter your opponent. You don't want Detroit to get him. You definitely don't want. You want him, but you don't want him at that price. And I cannot let Detroit get him.
Yeah.
So they've got to think about that, man, in this decision. So I think they have to make a play for him one way or the other, or he goes to Detroit.
That's a lot of money, though.
Really quickly, people are asking where Foster is at right now, and we got a text from him, and it sounds like he said somebody stole his laptop from his car.
Oh boy!
So it looks like we're shit out of luck with Foster for a while.
Laptop, hey man, that's what happened when you eat White Castle and don't get out of there fast enough. You end up having to use their bathroom.
You leave your laptop just sitting right there on the.
Hey, you eat White Castle, you better hurry up and get the hell on out of there and hit the brick, man. You better get it.
Oh my God.
That'll happen,
man. Quit the White Castle, man.
No, wasn't it the Arby's cheese sauce that put him out that other episode too?
That'll do it too, boy.
Stay away from that, dude.
Also says it was Menards.
He said Menards.
Stopped off at Menards for some nuts and bolts in the nuts and bolts aisle. Oh man!
I did want to ask you, Nomad. What have you did any research on the guy out of BYU, the left tackle, Kingsley?
Oh yeah.
What do you think of him?
Probably you talking about upside?
Yeah, I mean because I know in Poles' end of year interview, he said that he's not necessarily looking for someone to replace Braxton, but probably can bring somebody into giving competition.
Push him, yeah.
So I'm thinking about what do you think of him as far as providing that competition?
Top of my list, man. I mean, when I say top of my list, I ain't gonna say the very top. I think the best tackle in the draft is Talish Fuaga from Oregon State. I think he's the most talented one in the draft, but I think the most versatile is what is his name? Number 55 from, damn it, is it Kansas State or Washington? I think it's Washington. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head.
Troy, I think. Troy something?
Yeah, Troy Fortanu.
Yeah.
But Kingsley, you talking about the most upside. This dude he's the Philadelphia Eagles left tackle in 2 years. I guarantee you that. All you gotta do is clean that, mold that, shape it, and he is going to be a wall.
Do you believe that? Because I was looking at his frame and seemed like he has like a smaller lower body. So I was wondering about the anchors, the same problem that Braxton has.
Oh no! I don't. That you see, you really look at him, and that dude's gonna. He can probably go to sleep and eat a bag of Doritos and gain 30 pounds. All you got to do is eat it and go to sleep. He'll get up 30 pounds heavier, man. He's going to be fighting his weight, especially his bottom half. And guys from those Polynesian guys, man, they don't have that problem, man, from the waist down. Trust me when I tell you.
I did see a video of him jumping out the swimming pool, a la Jerron Gilbert.
Yeah.
From back in the day.
Oh God, please no, not that again.
But I did see that, and it's like I just wondered because I seen his build. It seemed like he's got a bigger upper body, but I was looking at his legs, and his legs look kind of small though.
I'll be right back, guys. I got to take a leak. I'll be right back.
I don't think he's gonna have a problem at all, man. I think he's I played with a couple Polynesian guys in school, man. They're some of my best friends, man. I'm telling you, man. And the ones that I've met and the ones that I've come in contact with. What's up, Foster?
Hey, Nomad. I hope you're well. PJ, Walt. I hope everybody's good, man.
What's happening, bro?
Get in and out the White Castle drive-through, man. Hurry up.
I heard that, you guys. I was cracking up. I couldn't even repeat my comment because I was driving when it was hilarious, man. I didn't mean to cut you off either, bro, dude.
Oh no, you're all good. Oh, I was just responding to him talking about Kingsley. I can't never pronounce it. Very. I mean, I think he's got the best upside of all of them there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what J2K is saying. He says he's a little bit raw, but he has good football character. So that's what I'm saying. So to bring him in like a second round after trading down, of course, having him give that competition for Braxton to where even if he's not the starter this year, maybe next year or the year after, to where he can actually provide it. Because I think he has better upside than what Braxton can do. Because it seems like Braxton having a hard time anchoring. And I don't know if he's ever going to get that fixed or not.
No.
I don't know, PJ. I like Jordan Morgan myself at Arizona.
Yeah, Jordan Morgan's solid, man.
But it seemed like he was getting beat at the Senior Bowl a lot.
And I heard he was doing good.
Those one-on-ones, man, that stuff is a little misleading, too. Because them dudes just taking off like rockets and with no technique. They're just trying to, in real games, it's not that simple, man. They gotta take off under. It's just, I think the Senior Bowl can make you look good and make you look really bad at the same time. And to me, it doesn't translate when I look at the tape. I think he's really very solid, man. I'm telling you, this is how I know. I'm pretty sure Poles is going to trade down. I think the opportunity in the draft, and it's so rich. I mean, PJ is so rich at our positions of need.
Yeah.
Our positions of need, like the holes that we actually have to cover up, is rich in this draft. No way in hell he's going into this draft with no 4 picks because Caleb is gone, right? No way in hell, man. This draft is too rich to pass up on that opportunity. You can set your franchise up for years, man.
I agree. I 100% agree with that. I think, the prudent move would be to trade down. And, that's why when I listen to all the arguments for drafting, well, I'm not going to get into that. I'm sorry. Sorry, Walt. I'm not going to get into that. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to Foster. Last I saw was some fire going on. Oh, he's back. All right.
That's right here. I haven't been on this phone in so long. I forgot how to do this crap.
There's nothing wrong with talking about it, PJ. I mean, you're absolutely correct. If we end up moving the Caleb Williams route, we're down to 4 picks basically at the moment.
All I know is as much as Shorty will tell you how much I really thought of Braxton Jones. I still think a lot of him. I just don't think he's starting 17 games material. I mean, because the rap sheet is out on him. Speed to power, pushing back into the quarterback. And so many times looking at the tape, you could tell Justin was overcompensating for the noise that was being made on the left side of him, his blind side. He's overcompensating on him in every way because he knows he has to overcompensate because he knows Braxton gets a lot of pressure, especially if it's a bigger, stronger defensive end that can really go from speed to power really fast. It was just bad at times, man. It was other times when Braxton looked really good against the lighter, more quicker guys, that he can really be technically sound against, and he wasn't worried about getting pushed back. He looked really good. And so swing tackle, I think, is the best role for him, where he could learn the right side, go back, go in. And I think you got to have a stud there on your left-hand side so this cat can concentrate and really deliver football games from the quarterback position. You can't do that with that much noise and that much nervousness from the left side with Braxton Jones. I love the guy, but I know that he doesn't have it from the waist down. I don't think he ever will.
That's why if you're sitting there at 9 with a Joe Alt at left tackle, do you take him?
I like Joe Alt, but I think he's got some of the same issues as of right now. I'm not saying that he's got a little bit better structure to him from the waist down that you can actually see him packing on the strength to do it. I don't see it with Braxton. Now, to me, I think don't be surprised if you start to see this happen in I don't know, OTAs, whenever they start. When is that? April 19th or something like that. They start OTAs. If they come in and they flip they draft a right tackle, and they flip Darnell. Don't be surprised if you saw that.
Really? So you think Darnell could go to left?
Absolutely. I told you the only reason
earlier,
he right tackle at Tennessee is because somebody got hurt. That his natural position is tackle.
Foster, I missed it. I missed you coming in because I had to take a leak. What's up, bro? Everything okay over there?
That's why I left, because I knew you were coming back.
Oh shit! You want me to leave? Are you on your
No,
phone?
I heard the bit. Yeah, I'm on my phone, man. Somebody got it.
Turn your phone portrait. It'll change the view.
1 second.
That's the view.
I don't think his phone is new enough to have that setting.
It's a flip phone, man. He can't do all that. Stop.
It's a 2.5-year-old Android. I don't know.
Hey guys, give me 1 minute, okay?
Okay.
I've been trying to give you that damn iPhone, but you just don't want it, Foster. You just don't
want nothing. No, I want my computer that's been sitting in my mom's house for what, a year?
Has it really been stolen?
Yeah, absolutely. I retracked every step since last Thursday when I put it in the car. It had to be a Jewel, but I really think it was a Menards because I came out and I went to put the key in the door and I'm like, I swore I locked that because I always do. All I got to do is push the button and they all lock. And just the driver's was up and I looked in the back seat and I saw my sweater and I saw the stuff in the passenger seat and I got in and just went about my day. And then 6:00 tonight, 6:30 tonight, I'm going, I got all this shit. I was at the studio already and everything. And I'm like, what the hell? I know I left it in the back seat because I keep bouncing it 3 places.
Man, oh man.
All right.
I tell you what, fucking Foster.
Absolutely. At least it was only the laptop and the bag it was in. Fortunately, I took all the important shit out of that bag. Thank God.
Well, that's good. What's up, Alan Pena? Thanks for joining us.
Slick Sophistication, Jay Grizz, Brian Hendren, 88 Buckmeister, J2K. You guys, we appreciate you joining us in the chat.
Mike.
At the J2K.
Mike Hoffman. It looks like you pulled that, Walt. No, it is not. It is not.
I did.
Hoffman. God. Please do not use that word in here. You will be removed.
I missed the beginning, guys, because I was driving around, and I'm sure you talked about JJ and Bates, right?
Yeah, we talked about JJ. We talked about Bates. The show's over, Foster. You can get out of here.
All right, you guys stay safe, man. We'll see you next week, God willing, and take care.
I've already been pulled once or twice for even mentioning Bagent.
I caught it. I think I told you to shut up in the chat even or something, dude.
Typical show.
I caught bits and pieces because I was driving and shit, and I just want to go to Bates real quick because I heard Swifty and some other guys. I don't remember what they said, but the minute they drafted him, I'm like, that is just a great depth move, but it's an insurance piece, at least in my opinion. Everybody's like, he's going to jump in and play center. I'm sure you guys had this conversation.
I did.
No, he's not. He's here for insurance for Nate Davis or Tevin Jenkins, and specifically right guard, man, because that's what he played most snaps at. Isn't that correct, Walt?
Mm-hmm.
But right
he only
guard,
played around 187. Well, no, Tevin Jenkins played both.
It should be.
You always hear them talking about they want to put guys out there to compete. I think Foster's mostly right though. I think he's mostly right, but if I could see a world where they just start, letting them go at it, and then the chips fall where they may, he beat somebody out.
Absolutely. Poles talks about it all the time. He even mentioned about Braxton. He likes Braxton. You guys were talking about Braxton a couple minutes ago, and he's big on Braxton, but he said in the press conference, and I think it was right after the season, that he wasn't opposed to bringing in competition for that position, which I believe is what you guys were talking about, Nomad.
Yeah,
with the tackle situation.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I've been on teams where I remember my sophomore year, I was pissed off because they had this senior. I'm talking about high school. They had this seniority thing going on. These coaches that we had.
Mm-hmm.
I was so glad they were gone the next year because they were, senior friendly. Seniors played. Everybody, the underclassmen, and we had way more talented underclassmen than we had seniors, and we stunk. They got rid of that regime, and immediately, they brought in dudes that were just like, hey, we're going to go at it. And, when the smoke clears, the chips fall where they may. And that's how we became a great team. And I played on great teams like that everywhere, even when I went to college, man, it was, I know you're this big time kid from Chicago and everybody's talking about you. And, but guess what? I got this big time kid from Lake City, Florida, down in Miami, down in Fort Myers, cat from California. You're going to have to go get it. When the smoke cleared, Chicago got it, but I loved it. That's what you want, man. You want that competition. Yeah. I mean, it just breeds team toughness, and you get the best of everybody.
Right. Yeah, it makes you and everybody around you better.
Hell yeah,
it really does.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I've gone. Oh man, real quick, I was on a team that was 14-0, and the next 2 years, I think we went 1-20 or 1-17 or something like that. Terrible.
This is 1920.
Just because of it. Just because of that. We happened to play 14 games one year when the NFL was playing 14 games, and then it dropped to 12 or 11 or something. It was really weird.
Hey, I just want to
imagine sitting there and you're better than the guy in front of you, and you watch him getting his ass kicked. He knows you're better than him, and he can't say nothing. He can't even look at you when he comes to the sideline.
Oh,
and then so do the guys on the field that you're playing with. Like I played a defensive backfield, and the cornerbacks, the two cornerbacks, the other safety is like, dude, you got to put this freaking guy in the field. I don't care if he's small or whatever. It's hard. Whatever it is that makes you the player that has more capabilities on field, because it's not always athleticism. It mostly is, but it's not always. And you guys know what I mean.
Right. I want to take a moment real quick, guys. There was like 133 people in the chat. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Good night there, Hair Bear. Laz, thanks for joining us. All the rest of you guys who I haven't mentioned yet. Jeremy, thanks again, guys, for joining us. Again, our guest tonight is Nomad from the Nomad Network, and we're just chopping it up, talking football.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do. People love football. They want to hear it, and we love to do it.
I love the station identification and the chat identification, PJ. Well done.
Well, you want to give us that BetUS there, Shorty?
Oh man, I gotta get that ready. I got it ready. You want to pull it up really quick?
Yeah.
Let us remind you that we are brought to you by BetUS. So I can't pull it up, but make sure that if you're going to use, let's start that over again because it's not pulling up for me. There,
it's up.
There we go. I got it. Do it one more time. We're presented by BetUS. Go check out BetUS.com. Every sports bettor's favorite sports book. They have a bunch of great perks as well as exceptional service. If you're going to place your bet, please use that link. You will help out the show. It's also available in the description of the channel as well. So thank you for reminding me of that.
And if you guys bet,
you got a damn sponsorship, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, we're trying over here. We got little bits.
Hey, I'm not mad at you, man.
Thank you, man. PSF down there at the bottom right too. Lesser Wiltfong and I do the Bears games on PSF live, watching it as fans. Check out the PSF app. Go to the Bears, find the Bears chat channel, and you can chat with us all day and all night long as well in there. So that's another thing I keep forgetting to promote, but that's another big deal for this channel too. So thank you, man.
Foster, you wanted the snap counts for Ryan Bates, right?
Yeah, I was just curious.
Okay, so I got 2022 here is 947 snaps, 810 at right guard, 137 at center.
Yeah. That showed. And then he only got what 39 snaps, 35 snaps this entire season because they're bringing back the veteran, man. That's one of the reasons they released him so they could sign him. Buffalo, I'm talking about. And Poles wanted him. We all know Poles tried to get him 2 years ago.
I was just gonna say he's been on his radar for a while now.
Yeah.
Anybody been watching Twitter or watching the free agent tracker or anything? Because I bet you some new names have been released to the free agent market, which is getting thicker and thicker.
I haven't. I've been trying to track my laptop, man.
The Hamburglar got it.
The Hamburglar got it.
I gotta stay away from White Castle and Arby's, man. I had a cheese sauce incident a few weeks ago.
And apparently Menards is on that list now.
I'm stuck there. I got to go there a lot.
Hey, I heard they got a pretty good pizza in there, frozen pizza in Menards now. Somebody told me
they do.
Who's eating it? Who's got it?
Damn it!
Oh, who tried that
something, man?
You tried that?
I've had it. When they're $7 or $8, it's a good deal. It's loaded with cheese, and if you get the combo one, it's a decent pizza for $7 to $9. I can't remember the name of it. Lots of matzah.
Oh God!
I heard about it, man. Somebody told me, it's like, man, you'd be surprised, man. You'd be.
Why you don't like it, Walt?
I'm like, in Menards. I'm like,
you know me, man. It's a certain type of pizza in Boston. That's deep dish casserole crap.
Oh, you
I can't.
You from Boston?
This ain't deep dish. It ain't deep dish. It's a thin crust, man.
From Boston, Walt? Yeah, he is.
It's from Wisconsin, dude. Yeah, he is.
I'm off the mean streets of Connecticut. What are you talking about, Shorty?
What's that frozen pizza that you like, Nomadic?
Frozen?
Yeah, the frozen kind, the best one.
Home run in right now.
Home run in, yes.
That's good.
When I was at Cliff's house, he had like a stack of. His wife's like, you can go in the freezer and get some more ice. And I saw a stack of home run in pizzas in there. I'm like, where the hell did you get these from? He's like, oh, Publix. I'm like, they don't have them by me. He's like, you can take one. I forgot it, Cliff. Damn it.
Oh, you gotta be kidding, man. Listen to you. I wanna take some credit because when I was down in Atlanta, I got so homesick and I was ready to just uproot and I was so sick of the food there. No good pizza. And I'm in Atlanta. You think it should be good food everywhere, man. The
yeah, you think so, yeah.
I mean, it sucks bad. And I had to go into an Ingles, man, in Marietta. I had to go into an Ingles and get friendly with a female manager, man, and she got nice to me, man, and I got her to order some home run in. She said, you know what? I'm tired of you asking me about it. I'm gonna order 10 of them. And I said, I'll buy every last one of them. No, you got to let at least the manager and the assistant manager try one. So we'll get 10. You'll get 8 of them, and we'll take 2, right? Man, look, I came back 3 days later, and she said we can't keep them in, and we ordered some more the next day, and they came, and she said we ordered like about 50, and they were gone. All the employees bought them. And so I think I'm part responsible for bringing home run in pizza past the Mason-Dixon line down into the South.
The best frozen pizza you can buy. I actually have an Ingles in town.
Connie's is good too, Shorty. Now, if you run into a Connie's, get it.
There's a Nancy's that's in Atlanta. It's pretty good, for fresh pizza. But it's a 15-minute drive that takes about an hour and a half. Because of traffic. You know how traffic is in Atlanta.
Yeah, it didn't take us long to start talking about food on this show.
Hey, we started off talking about food with Cliff's delicious meal.
I feel sorry for him, man. Y'all all the way down south, man.
Oh, it's awful.
Man, dude, the food is just so different down there. I mean, it's good food down there depending on what you're looking for. Like the soul food restaurants are crazy. But I got soul fooded out, man. I got tired of that pretty quick, and I wanted my street food, man.
I hear you, man.
Pizza, my Italian beefs, and all the stuff that comes with Chicago, man.
Catfish and spaghetti.
Oh
Catch.
yeah.
Are
Hey,
you
you know what? They
electrician?
don't do that down there. They don't do that in the South, PJ, unless you go to somebody's house.
See?
From the door.
But they do it in the
You
Midwest.
You go hang out by Cliff, man. He's got like a cargo drop from Chicago once a week. Vienna beef and Connie's pizzas and God knows what else, man.
Hey, you know what? They've got it. They've got the order system set up. So now you pretty much can order just about anything you want, man. You just got to know what to look for, and pretty much you can get most of the luxuries of Chicago anywhere you want. You just got to know what to look for.
Yeah, that's true. Angelo Camacho said, like Foster saying, "Feel free to ship me pizzas here anywhere. Wisconsin pizza is crap."
Man, Connie's frozen pizza is damn good, man. That's probably.
Nothing. I was going to say in 74, my cousin moved to Colorado Springs, and what they did was they would have Vienna beefs and hot dogs shipped there, and in 10 years they made enough money to retire, just on Vienna hot dogs and beefs from Chicago and Colorado Springs.
Man,
wow.
So I mean that tells you what some of the food that comes out of Chicago can do.
You pronounced it correctly too. Living in Colorado, everyone there pronounces it Colorado.
I've met people from Eastern Asia come from all the way across the world just to come here to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's saying a whole lot.
I bet.
Yeah, you got the best of all worlds, man, in Chicagoland. You really do, because there's so many different. It's every immigrant from every country in the world just about has come here. So you got to establish.
I enjoy it all. I've gone to Polish neighborhoods and enjoyed their cuisine, man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you ever have a fish in Jello?
Gelatin.
You on your
fish
own.
heads and gelatin, man.
You on your own.
I wish we had those pictures, man, of the encased casement, and it was a big glass jar with fish heads and gelatin. And then I forgot what else was there. It was all just nasty Polish food. I was like, oh my God.
Literally use fish broth to make the Jello out of. Like, and then fish in the Jello.
Man, what the hell? What is this show descended to, man? What the fuck are you
Let's get back online. Did you hear about Michael Thomas getting released by the Saints?
There you go. Thanks, Walt.
we talked about him earlier too. We had a lengthy little conversation about that guy. I'll tell you about it.
By the way, Nomad, I knew you were going to be here a lot longer than 20 to 30 minutes.
I didn't. My girlfriend just decided that she needed to come to work. I don't have shit else to do now.
You got plenty to do. You're sitting here talking on about the Bears, and let's keep
sloppy seconds.
Do it,
man.
That's fortunate. Fortunate for us.
We had patty melts and fries all hooked up, and she had to get up and go. She was pissed, man.
Man, that sucks. So back to Bears. What were you saying?
Michael Thomas.
There you go.
Oh, here everybody's gonna react to this. No, he didn't play much. He was too hurt. Let me tell you something about certain. Just because I know I ain't playing the NFL, but I got friends, and so I kind of know how it goes. Sometimes you can be in a certain place a little too long, and you can, like, your relationship can run its course. I believe when the minute Drew Brees retired, I think the relationship with Michael Thomas had run its course. He just was there a couple, 2-3 years afterwards because he had a big contract and they couldn't do anything with it. And I think it was times when they didn't play him. It was times when he didn't play him because he didn't want to be out there. And I think he's gotten his money. Now he's whittled himself down into a situation where he's not going to be able to ask for a whole lot because of the situation he's been given there. And so in a situation where we're going to end up drafting our next ex-receiver. It will not hurt to have a veteran presence there that can really show him the ropes and bring that kid along. I'm not saying you have to start him, but a guy that can really show, to me, I'm big on you need teachers around and not only coaches. Some of the players are better, like the veteran players are better teachers than the coaches sometimes.
Right.
Because the coach you get tired of listening to. He's always chirping. And then the player knows exactly what to tell you in the right way so that you receive it. So those veteran players you can have around. Not saying they'll make a move on Michael Thomas. What I'm saying is, for the price that I'm thinking that he might be out there for, I don't think it's a bad idea to consider it. And I'm not the GM, but if I were Ryan Poles, I would consider it.
Well, I would agree with you, unless you go after or unless you get Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's the one that can do less of the mentorship per se than anyone else. I think he's been mentored enough by his father that you don't necessarily need another mentor for him. He's going to need somewhat, yes, but not as much as others.
He's pro ready. He was pro ready 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
And he's probably the one that needs the least amount of tutoring and the understanding of how he was an NFL receiver 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Some of those other guys like Brian Thomas Jr. Man, I'm telling you right now, that is the steal receiver of the draft.
That's a lot of upside right there. That's a lot of upside.
Him, Xavier Worthy, Leggett, Keon Coleman, steals.
Yeah.
Keon Coleman is going to need a lot of refinement because, he has a problem getting off of separation at times, but when the lights are on, when the game is big, you need a ball caught, you need a 50-50 ball to come down with. That guy's going to get that ball. He's going to come down with that ball. I guarantee you that, or he's going to die trying. But but I think Brian Thomas, I'll tell you, I haven't done a mock, but if I were to do one, and I'm probably gonna, just because I'm trading twice, I'm gonna try to trade twice and get that. I'm gonna get down to Washington. When I get to Washington, I'm gonna start looking at Atlanta. I'm gonna start looking at the Giants and see if I can get some more. And I'll trade down a little bit more. My first pick is probably gonna be Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU.
In the top 10?
In the top 10.
Wow.
In the top 10, because Neighbors is going to be gone. Marvin Harrison is going to be gone, and so the next best player to me is Marvin Harrison. Then I'm going tackle.
You like
Brian Thomas over Rome?
You think you have Neighbors above Marvin Harrison?
No.
Oh,
no, I got him probably. I know Marvin Harrison's the best one, but Neighbors Neighbors. I think. Man, I think they're tit for tat, him and Brian Thomas Jr., to be quite frank with you.
So you have Thomas over Romaduzzi.
Yeah. Yep, I do.
What do you got? What do you think about Adonai Mitchell?
I got him beneath. I got him down there beneath. I don't think he's quite top 10. I think he did well in the combine. He performed very well, but on tape, I don't even rank him in my top 10. I think Xavier Worthy is the other stud that people don't want to talk about, but I think they got a good taste of him in the combine.
4.2, 140.
I mean, that's
better. Huh?
That cat will cut off the lights and be in the bed before it's dark. I mean, cat quick, boy. And it shows up on tape. It's not just the 40 at the combine. That just shows up play after play in the games on his game tape. That ain't
anything that scares me.
That's
man.
real. That's real. Beep beep. I'm by you. Ain't shit you can do about it. Throw the damn ball.
Man, but 165 pounds is scary.
Oh yeah, they said that about Tank Dell, but what was he doing before he got jacked up?
If the key word is he did get jacked up, though.
He did get jacked up. That's facts, man. I can't argue with
that. So that scares me away there.
I got to tell you, this is a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for coming on, Nomad. This has been a blast hanging out with you again, man. For real.
Hey, man, it's like fish in the water, man. You start talking about football, you say Bears football. Hey, what? I'm coming.
What's up, AC Adam?
What's up, AC? Thanks for Zim hanging out with us tonight. What's up, Zim?
What's up, Zim?
GCA hopping in too.
So, Nomad, I want to get into some draft choices as far as center. I know I think JPJ is your number one. What do you think of Cedric Van Pran?
I don't think Jackson Powers Johnson is the. I think he's most people that watch, people like Mel Kiper and those type of people. That not their number one, not mine. I like Barton.
Oh, okay. I'll stand corrected.
I like the cat from Florida, Kingsley something. There's several.
Yeah.
There's several of them. There's some good centers out there. This is a really, really thick center class. I mean, Jackson Powers Johnson, watching him on tape, I think he can run into some Sam Mustapher problems. I think he can get bull rushed. But he can't get stronger, man. He can't get stronger. I think whatever center we have, if we draft the center, is going to have time to pack on some muscle and get stronger.
So what do you think of Cedric Van Pran?
I think he's probably the most ready of all of them because of the competition level he faced.
And the 3-year starter at Georgia.
Yeah, I think he's probably the most ready of all of them. He also has a few little, but they all got, they're college players, man. They're gonna struggle when they get to the next level until they get better. That's all it is to it. There's no perfect, player out there in the draft, but he's gonna struggle. But I think his curve is a lot shorter than other guys just because of the competition he faced.
Okay.
So what do you guys think about, like, who can we take in those 3rd and 4th round picks? I mean, hopefully he's going to trade back and we're going to get a 2nd round here, there, and maybe a couple more picks or whatever. But realistically, because we're talking about what we're going to do with the first 2 round picks, and if you're not going to get a center or guard position of need on the Bears, you got to look at the 3rd and 4th round picks and who's going to be available. That actually, to me, might be a good time, those 4th rounders, to improve the running back room. Because you're not going to get a lot of running backs drafted in them first 2 rounds, maybe 2 or 3. I'm just saying.
Let me tell you, man.
Go ahead.
I predict this, and you watch this happen that day of the draft. I think that the tackle group and the receiver group is so thick. It's so strong. It's going to alter the whole. I mean, you're going to have guys falling that should have been in the 1st, 2nd round just because those are going to come off the board real fast. And people are going to be, tackle after tackle, receiver after receiver. And then it's going to make a whole lot of good players at different positions start falling down. Yeah. And then people got to rearrange their draft board because they didn't expect this guy to be here or there. And then you got to restructure and stuff. Man, I think you watch, those tackles and those receivers are going to set that board on fire, man. They're going to set it. Everybody's going to have it wrong. If you ain't got a bunch of tackles and receivers going early in the 1st round, you ain't looking at this stuff right. And the quarterbacks, of course.
Speaking of quarterbacks, have you got a chance to look at Jordan Travis, I believe, from Florida State?
I thought you were going to say Tyson Bagent.
I've been a Florida State fan since I was old enough to know who Deion Sanders was, man. So I know Jordan Travis intimately. Yeah, that's a quarterback. No, pause.
Right.
Right. So Jordan Travis, if they were to draft a quarterback, I think they draft one later on, and he's prime candidate to him, Spencer Rattler, or somebody like that. Prime candidate for a late draft pick, somebody you can take your time and start working with him.
That would be my goal. I mean, if we in an ideal world where we get few trade backs and then acquire extra picks, and about the 4th or 5th round be able to get Jordan Travis, I think he'll be good to mold and possibly replace Secret Bagent, man.
Oh, wait a second. We got to pull PJ for saying the word Bagent. There we go. You're out of here, PJ. Nobody can say the word Bagent on this show without getting pulled, apparently.
Bagent.
Yeah, but see, he's looking to replace Tyson Bagent.
Foster's out here. Foster said Bagent. You're out of here, Foster.
He just want to keep on saying it. He just want to keep on saying Bagent himself. Look at it.
Shorty, you should be pulled 3 times, man. I just heard you say his name 3 times.
Well, let me pull myself 3 times.
There you go.
2, 3. Can I come back now?
I don't know, man. I don't know if we should let you back.
Man.
Oh, man.
DB group, they're going to draft another corner, guaranteed.
What type of corner? A nickel or a outside?
Wait, how many people are we going to draft with 4 picks?
Well,
4.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. He's got to trade. He's got to trade back, correct?
What you just said is we're drafting Caleb. You just said we're drafting Caleb.
Who?
Me?
Foster, you said where are we going to get a corner with 4 picks? That's
No, I said, how many guys are you gonna take with 4 picks? You're gonna take 4.
That means
just
we're
saying.
drafting Caleb, so we only have 4 picks left.
I think we'll end up with like 11, 12 of them.
That sounds about polls like. I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my 10 because I've been saying
That's fair.
we need 10 more freaking players on this team, and now I'll make it 9, but it's probably about 15 if you look at the roster from top to bottom. We've got one center. We've got one center signed right now. Well, I forgot about the trade. 1.5, and I'm counting Kramer's the half because we have no idea what that guy is. None.
You call him a center, yeah.
I believe the free agency next week. What is it next week?
Yeah,
we're gonna know a whole hell of a lot after that, because that's
absolutely.
They're gonna strike early, day one probably, and then they're gonna wait and start getting those second tier, third tier guys. A couple 2-3 days later.
Now I am confident that, according, going by our conversation earlier, I am confident that if polls do go after Josh Jacobs, he will get him for a good price. Because thinking about how he didn't give Montgomery what he wanted. So I can see him not overpaying for Josh Jacobs.
And if they get Josh Jacobs, we'll have to have Nomad back on the show just to gloat about that. And hopefully they get Chase Young just for you, PJ. You guys can just go back and forth about it. You can just gloat with happiness.
Hey man, one thing about me, I hit home runs, man. We talked about Javon Dexter ad nauseum over at the bar room till people were just like, "Wait, you keep talking about Javon?"
Yeah, you did. I'll give you that. You did.
And even Tyreek, I remember Aldo asking, he was asking guys, I don't know, I think he asked all of us, who do you want me to look at? I think down at the Senior Bowl, who you want the guys to look at down at the Senior Bowl. And I remember pointing out Tyreek Stevenson. I remember that. He'll tell you the same thing. I pointed out Tyreek, Tank Dell. Let me see, Tyreek, Tank Dell. And I think Zach Pickens was the guys I told him. And we end up getting 2 of them.
Now, I don't know if you heard my question earlier, but what I was saying was when you said we ought to go after a cornerback, do you think we ought to go at outside or nickel cornerback? Because I kind of like that guy out of Michigan as a nickel.
Sam Steele?
Yeah.
I think it can go either way. Because we definitely need we were flipping pieces here and there trying to get a backup for Kyler Gordon. So I could see that too. I could see a nickel coming, but I think the guy that I know that, because here's what I think is really going to happen. I think one of those rookie corners we just got this year is going to slide into the role of safety. And so
really,
yeah, I think either Tyreek, more than likely Terrell Smith. Terrell Smith took some reps over I think in either OTAs or during camp. I can't remember, but I know he did. I think probably Terrell Smith, because he needs to get on the field. That dude needs to play. But I think it can go either way. They can go nickel. If they go boundary corner, the best boundary corner that fits Flus's mold, in my opinion, is TJ Tampa from Iowa State.
I think Terrell Smith played that position in a preseason game due to injuries.
Did he?
Not a lot of snaps, but some snaps. I'm almost positive. I know he did somewhere. I just can't remember if it was even in the season or if it was in preseason. Because they started talking about that, and I want to say week 10 or something that was brought up. It was one of the conversations we had.
So I'd check mark what Foster just said and keep an eye on that in camp and OTAs and different things like that. See who's taking reps where.
Yeah. Well, I missed the days of camp being in Bourbonnais. Man, the hassle you got to go through to get camp tickets nowadays in Lake Forest is different.
Dude, Bourbonnais used to be so nice. You could just go down there, get in there, go watch the Bears practice. Now they're
moving it next year. Page, just next year they're moving it. Not in 25, they're moving it to Peoria. It's going to be in your backyard.
They're moving it to Peoria?
No, I'm joking, dude.
Oh, God.
I said
Get him out of there, man. What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah. I'm like, what happened to Foster?
Georgia, man. God damn.
Wait, what were you saying?
Are you talking to me, Dan?
Yeah, I said, what were you saying? You're like, nothing. I got pulled. I was
just messing with PJ, and I meant to ask him. I hope you're feeling better too, dude.
I feel better today.
Just messing with PJ. That's it. That's what I do.
Yeah, I feel better. Thanks for asking there, folks. I do feel better today, man.
Good
Sorry to hear about your laptop, though.
That
Yeah,
could
you're
be
going
replaced,
through
man.
that the other night, huh, PJ?
Losing my laptop was better than running back and forth to the bathroom and pissing out of your ass for 3 or 4 days.
Man, I must have lost about 5 pounds, bro.
So it's all good for you then. That's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with losing 5 pounds, right?
You know, the crazy part about that whole situation for me, I actually vomited for the first time in 35 years.
Wow.
That was the craziest part for me.
Wow.
I mean, the last time I vomited, I was like in the Army, and that was decades ago. And I'm like, yeah, so to have to vomit, I was like, wow, I must really be sick.
The first time PJ vomited this century.
For real.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question, man. In your heart of hearts, when you think about Chicago Bears football, and you look at Caleb Williams, does it appear that he is a fit here?
I actually have this written down right here. Nomad. On a note sheet, it says, Caleb does not look like a Bear. Drake May does. Jaden Daniels does. Is the number 13? Is the number 13 even like let's just say they do draft Caleb?
Let's answer the question.
So my answer is no. He doesn't look like a fit in Chicago. He doesn't. He looks like he could be a commander. You know, he looks like he could be he doesn't seem like he's a bear, like a bear to me. To answer your question.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, well, when it comes down to it, man, Caleb Williams, he's going to thrive if they tailor and structure an offense around what he does best, and that's getting an RPO and just slinging the ball all over the place 40 times a game, maybe more, depending on who's a coordinator, which is why Kingsbury is in Washington. He turned around in the air, midair, to go back to Washington and doesn't take the job in Vegas. That should have told you something. When Magic Johnson came there, I knew they were going to make a big move, because that's why you bring him on to ownership. That's what he is. He's a high roller.
But hold on, though. The question I have about that is, what plane was Cliff on to where he can turn around in midair?
Oh, I was exaggerating. I'm just saying they had the deal pretty much done, and then all of a sudden, boom, he decided, no, I don't want this job. I'm going to Washington, D.C. Out of all places. That's probably one of the last places you would want to go if you want to get your career back on get a foothold back on your career in the NFL. That's probably one of the last places you would go.
Well, that situation for me, I thought was kind of bizarre. I thought that with Eric Bieniemy being there, that what he done for Patrick Mahomes, he would have been able to do for a rookie quarterback that they would bring in, because Patrick Mahomes, attributed Eric Bieniemy to being hard on him per se, and really helping him with his development. I mean, he also credited Alex Smith and others as well, but having that disciplinarian type coach, I think, would help Caleb or any other rookie quarterback for that matter. So I just wonder, how much can you really help a young quarterback when you're just being his buddy friend instead of his coach?
Well, I had to watch this dude for the last couple of years because I knew he was going to come out and have a lot of hype surrounding him. And I'm not here to bash the kid, man, because he's young and
right.
He's got a lot of growing up to do. And and when I say a lot of growing up to do, just remember this as I preface this statement. He's only a year younger than Justin. And he's light years. I mean, they are in two different universes as far as their emotional maturity. This guy, I've literally sat and watched this dude go over there to the sidelines, yelling and screaming at his coach, out of control. On the sidelines, his teammates are trying to talk to him. He's barking at them. He's over there messing with some girl that's walking around there, trainer or somebody. It's like he was arguing with her or something, and then one of his teammates go and kind of pulled his collar, like, hey man, chill out. And he's barking at them, and they almost get into it. People have to pull them off of him. And I just seen a lot of red flags, man. You know, that doesn't translate well when you like Bieniemy's a no nonsense kind of coach,
Right.
When you got a prickly dude like that, that's combustible, Jack. I don't care how you want to look at that. That is combustible.
Well, I remember distinctly watching a couple of years ago when the Arizona Cardinals was playing, and Kyler Murray got into a shouting match with Cliff Kingsbury.
Same kind of stuff.
And I'm looking at that, and I'm like, oh no, that's not good. Now you're going to have him as an offense coordinator, and to have a young quarterback, whatever that quarterback is, to be able to go in that type of. I just think there's a hierarchy that you have to respect, and I think to your point that Justin understands that, to where you know you don't do certain things until it reaches a certain point, but you don't disrespect your coaches, as for the lack of a better term.
It's a way to comport yourself. That's why I said they're light years apart from each other. There's a difference between maturity and emotional maturity. Emotional maturity is having command of your emotions. Having command of happy, sad, ups, downs, and lefts and rights, and you know what I mean. You can have a really bad day and having an emotional, visceral response to it. That when you're emotionally mature enough, you can capture that and make sure it comes out in the right place, in the locker room or when you get home, whatever. It doesn't bust out on the field in front of your teammates, at coaches. That's the kind of stuff you got to have. Nobody knows what goes on after Justin gets sacked out there 5-6 times and he's pissed off about something Getsy was calling in the game. You never would have saw it on the sidelines. But who knows what happens when they cross that threshold of that tunnel, you know what I mean, and got in that locker room. It might have been a different story. But this kid, man, it's going to show, and the media is going to come after him. The media is going to, and he's going to get prickly, and you can't just choose when you're going to do a presser. You have obligations that you have to do as the face of a franchise, whether you're happy, sad, mad. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You got to go comport yourself, get in front of this media, take the questions, the required amount, answer them, and take your ass on back to what you need to go do. But you can't just thumb your nose to it because you don't feel like doing it at the time.
Well, I think if you remember when the previous coach was here, how it wasn't Justin that necessarily called him out, but it was Nick Foles who was saying this isn't working.
Right.
So Justin, I mean, I'm sure saw the same thing, but he knew enough not to speak out against it, being a rookie and not being necessarily his character, to where even when he said the offense wasn't working last year, that he then did a presser 15 minutes later saying, oh, I didn't mean it a certain type of way. So I think he has a certain level of respect for coaches that you want from your players, because you don't want to have discord in the locker room.
Okay, there was. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I don't know. You have to ask the question: how coachable or receptive to coachability is Caleb Williams? You don't know that right now. And he made a good comment at the combine, where Lincoln Riley took him aside. He said possibly after the Utah game and said, "Hey, listen, you either grow or this runs you over." That game where he sat out the press conference against UCLA was 4 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
So how much did you actually take from that conversation? You're saying one thing, but your actions are saying something completely different.
Now, I didn't even put those dots together. Thank you for that, Walt, because I didn't know that, because that tells me everything I need to know. You pulled nothing from that. You pulled absolutely nothing from that. He's still in his feelings, man, about everything. And I don't like that for a Chicago quarterback. You got to be tougher than that. This is a certain kind of city. We play a certain kind of football. It's tough. It's rough. It gets cold. It gets ugly. You got to get ugly with the ugly around here. You know what I mean? That else they won't accept you. They won't. People think they want them right now until they get them, and then they realize that you don't really want to embrace them. The wild throws will happen from time to time, but the rest of that shit, when he's got to play quarterback, a normal quarterback's role, he's gonna have his problems, man. Another one of the problems that he has is running around with that ball in one hand, man. He gets away with that in college, man, but
he does have a 9 3/4 inch hand, though. You got to give him. That's his biggest
hand, no question. But the biggest hand you can have, Mighty Joe Young hands. But when them big old 320-pound dudes come swiping that ball from behind, it's coming out.
Yeah.
And once he gets in front of that media for the first time after a bad game, how is he going to handle it? That
was going to be my big thing with him, and that's why I was saying no to your question originally, Nomad. I don't see him as a bear. The media is going to rip him apart. He's not going to be able to handle it. Even in his combine speech, if you go back and listen to all that, he did a lot of good things, but then he kept going. Yeah, well, I only went 7-5 that year because we had whatever, and then he was like, I did this, I did that, and I'm like, I thought wins and losses weren't a quarterback stat.
Yeah, and he talks about how difficult that was going, losing all those games that year and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I mean, the one thing we can say about Caleb Williams and his team is he has a good media coach.
Oh yeah,
they definitely told him what to say there.
What?
The combine's a different. The combine's a different animal. You're running around, just sweats, whatnot, happy-go-lucky, having fun. The bullets aren't flying right now.
Right.
Plus, he's not even throwing at the combine, by the way.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, because Alan Penny brought up a good thing. No medicals before free agent leaves, who's foundational question. That's just showboating on his part. It's look at me. I'm bigger than everything else around me. Same thing with the crashing of the Brendan Rice presser. It's a very simple question. How do you feel to being Jerry Rice's son? But why come up in the middle of this group where there's cameras on you and ask this question? Like you're trying to be a cool guy. I mean, no.
Everybody's met that preppy kid that's had everything go his way his whole life, and he walks around with this holier than thou kind of attitude. And when you get in a locker room full of testosterone, and like everybody at the school knows that nobody can touch them, right? But when you get off campus and you ain't in a locker room, trust me, if he hung out with guys, and which I don't think he did, doesn't appear that he does based on some of the stuff I've heard. I don't think he hung out with the team a whole lot, because when they get him away from the locker room, you ain't on facility grounds. You kick his ass if you want to, really, but he's that kind of dude. He's that kind of dude that you met that dude in the hallway that thought, with his little polo on, Oxford, thought he was better than everybody else and just carried himself that way. He just wanted to kick him square in his ass, but just waiting for him to do something wrong. He's that dude, man.
I would say this. I mean, as far as Caleb goes, I truly wish him the best. I really wish him the best. I don't have anything negative to say about him anymore. I'm done with that part of it. But I do wish him the best. I just prefer Justin. Period.
Just quickly want to answer Tony May here. It looks like Marvin Harrison Jr. was at medical during that press conference.
He did his medicals.
Yeah.
He did get them privately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was confirmed by I forget who it was on Twitter, but I guess he was out doing a scan or something like that. So.
I know one thing. I hope the combine is a thing of the past one day, because it's too much that can happen, man. These dudes and joints and ligaments are already overworked. What is the season just got over for them in January? You know what I mean? And you're already doing all the strenuous activities, putting all that pressure on your joints, knees, and man, it's just. And then you wonder why you get into a Super Bowl and a player just getting ready to run on the field from the sidelines from San Francisco. What is his name? Dre Greenlaw about to run on the field and just blows his Achilles.
Yeah,
just too much strain on it. He's put too much work It's just too much work on his ligaments and joints.
And we saw it with I forget his name, but he pulled a groin muscle or something running the 40 in this past combine.
Yeah.
Overwork.
Yeah.
There's no football is 24/7 now. There's no time to let your body really fully repair and recover from the absolute beating that you put on it just training and getting ready for a game.
Mm-hmm.
The absolute ass whipping on your body, man.
I would say this as far as the combine goes, though. I think it still is it's a tremendous benefit for the small school guys.
Yeah, true.
You know, your Marvin Harrison Juniors, your Caleb's, and all them, Malik Neighbors. Yeah, they don't probably need it because they're still going to go within the top 5. However, what about that guy coming from a FCS? Is it that nobody heard of really? So it's
Missouri State.
Yeah, I mean, one of those small colleges, it'd be their time to shine. So and compete against these other guys. So I'm not a fan of necessarily doing away with it, tweaking it. Yes, I agree. You can tweak it some because what one of the announcers say when a guy pulled his groin or a hamstring that no offensive lineman is going to be running 40 yards anyway.
Yeah.
So why not just have them run 10 yards or 20 yards, whatever it is, but you don't need to have them run 40.
It's true. Very true. PJ, I mean, what offensive lineman needs to, some of the drills are so asinine for some of the players. It's just, and really, why are we wearing tights and shit? We out here in our drawers. What we doing that for, man? Who are we really entertaining, man? Really?
Okay.
It's just meat packing factory. I mean, what is this, man? What are we doing here, man? It's all fucked up.
Guys out there stuffing socks in their fucking drawers, right?
Well, who was the nose tackle last year that couldn't fit in his combine uniform? Just pouring out everywhere.
Meat packing district. Johnsonville's coming out and everything, man. There's somebody watching those combines and those 40s and all that, and that's exactly what they're looking at, man. They're just looking at the meat packet, man. That's it.
Yeah, I like what I heard about Marvin Harrison Jr. when he was in his at one point. I think I heard he said he asked the teams, "Do you need me?" Or he asked somebody, "Do you need me to be at the pro day?" And they say, "Well, no, you're not going to be able to show us anything that we haven't seen already." So that's why he's not even going to do the pro day. So the fact that he even asked, not just assumes, "Oh, I'm not going to do it." He presented it. That's why I'm like, again, there's a way about doing things, and I think that's important. I mean, it shows your leadership, shows your character, and what type of teammate you're going to be.
Well, I mean, PJ, there was an interview with Marvin Harrison Sr. a couple of years back, and that was one of the biggest gripes of his own son. He said he doesn't have the attitude that I did, and I would give that to him if I were to give him one piece of my game.
Have an attitude, huh?
Yeah.
Times are changing.
Oh man, he's a beast, though. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr.
All you need to have with the attitude, though, is have that attitude on the field during the game. Those 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You look at guys like Dick Butkus. He wasn't as terrible, and especially in his later years, as he was on the field. Man, he was a soft-spoken guy, really. But being on TV and being in the public eye and being a Bear, he had to personify it. I mean, that's even a couple of his last interviews.
Those
are interviews in the 70s after he retired, even, man.
Yeah. I'm just saying, age mellows you out. Age mellows you out.
I don't mean to go back to this. But, we were talking about, Caleb Williams and his one-handed kind of, running style. I forgot to bring this chart up here. This is actually it's kind of tough to see. But the career fumble rate for the last few quarterbacks coming out in the draft. Look who's number one.
Jeez.
I guess that's the whole running around with the ball in one hand thing, huh?
That's when Justin's up in there. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. J.J. McCarthy's number 3.
Justin's brought it down quite a bit now that he's started running with inside the box with two hands on the ball. Once he's outside the box, you'll see him get it one hand, tuck it, whatever he's going to do. But he's inside that box. He's got two hands on that thing. And sometimes he still gets stripped. That's how
like you said,
guys are.
After that injury, he came back and he played a 100% different game. He was throwing less interceptions, less fumbles, less sacks. He improved 100% after the injury this season. And this is kind of the argument that I was making for keeping Getsy was, can he learn from his mistakes and yada yada, and would it benefit Justin for him to remain the OC rather than have to start all over again? And I've been chastised for, we're this, like PJ has said a million times, it's the same offense. The players are going to be relatively similar, but really they're not. I mean, it's like me doing my job, but learning a different software. I have to learn all different terminology, but it means the same thing, but it's still learning something all over again. And that has been my biggest fear with the entire switch on the offensive staff is what's it going to take to, remaster that terminology all over again for this, even if it's for the same thing. And what's that going to take this team and Justin, how long is it going to take them to benefit from what they've learned in the off season?
Man,
half a season.
I'll tell you what changed in Justin. Justin, his whole problem is probably his biggest problem since he's been in the league. People can say, he doesn't read the defense. He doesn't go through his progression. Shut the hell up. You don't know what the hell his progression is supposed to be. People don't have they just hear other people say that shit and they repeat it, not really knowing exactly what they're talking about. Let me tell you what his biggest problem was. He's deep ball greedy. He's got a laser rocket arm and he wants to hit the big shot all the time. And sometimes he's more willing to wait for it. And it's now, since he had that injury and watched Tyson Bagent kind of go through little things that he did to not be so eager to do that.
Wait, should we pull him for saying Tyson Bagent? Hold on a second. Is this?
No.
No. Okay. Oh, he can finish. Huh? Okay.
Oh yeah.
And that's what changed in him. And he realized that I can't strike deep all the time, but he would stare at it too long and wait for something to break, and it'd be too late. And next thing you know, people are collapsing around him, stripping the ball away from him, and all that kind of stuff, man. And people will get upset, like, throw that damn ball. No, he's just greedy for that big strike. And now he's starting to refine himself. And this is the jump everybody was waiting to see Justin have.
He's maturing. He's maturing in his football play.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
I mean,
waiting on.
I think that's what the misnomer for a lot of people. I think it becomes you think that a player is a completed player after 2 or 3 years. You're still refining yourself. I mean, Tom Brady wasn't the same Tom Brady his first 3 years as he was his 10th year. I mean, you're constantly improving and trying to get better. And I see him trying to or making improvements. And it's like that's part of the growth process. I mean, now if he was at a point where he's not bettering himself, that's a different story. But I still see improvements. I mean, because if I'm not mistaken, over the last half of the season, he had 4 interceptions, 2 of which one was a Hail Mary, which the guy actually dropped, and the other one was a pass to Mooney that hit him in the stomach and came off his stomach, and the guy intercepted it. Other than that,
kicked it right into his arms.
Right. So 2 interceptions, or out of the 4 interceptions he had in the second half of the season, 2 of them was those right there. So you just add 2. So again, that's improvement. That's improvement that you can build upon.
Yeah.
I gotta say that it is getting to be my bedtime. So I want to wrap this up. Unless you guys want to keep this going without me.
I got it. I definitely got to get out of here, man. I stayed.
I figured you did, my man.
Stay away from that power, Jack.
Thank you for saying so too. Just so or else these guys will go 4 more hours.
Let them go, man. You don't have to be the maestro all the time. Let them.
No, that's what I'm saying. You and I can get out of here, and these three can hang out and talk about Justin Fields for another 3 hours, or we can save it for next week when we still keep talking about Justin Fields, because it's like inevitable. We're always going to come back to it in this pick, right?
Every now and again, man, I'm learning that every now and again you got to do that telethon type of what's that guy's name? The comedian used to do those little charity drives.
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis. You got to have one of those Jerry Lewis shows, man. Where you just got to let them go, man. And people, they'll repay you because they won't go anywhere. They want to continue the conversation, man. Sometimes
you get the new guys that are coming in from like the East Coast and on the other side of the country, the world, I should say, that are like waking up to this shit.
We had some long ass shows, man. Dude, we had some long ass shows.
Yeah, we've like woken up with Chris Watts, like, hey, what's up, guys? I just got up to take a piss, but I'm hanging out with you guys now for 3 hours.
Well, good thing is, Dan, we have free agency next week. It'll be the 14th.
Yeah.
All
you guys in the chat.
All those said, man, you motherfuckers had a 5-hour show.
Yeah, guys in the chat. We want to say thanks again with all the guys in chat. We're at 153. Again, we got Nomad from the Nomad Network here. I think he's here along on this show than he is on this daily show. So again, we want to thank you for being here this long tonight, Nomad.
That's true.
Yeah, we got Illinois Jones just hopping in. Sorry, we're just signing off, Illinois. Bruja, thanks for joining us. Jay Grizz, Doug Van Dorn, and of course, Cliff Victoria. You and your wonderful meals. I was expecting a meatloaf, but I got a seafood boil. It was amazing, my friend.
I don't know. Shorty, I'm seeing J2K. He wants to hang out. Jay Sanders wants to telethon.
Oh well, J2K, get your ass on here for the draft, man.
He said he's coming. He said he's coming for the draft.
Yeah. And Nomad, I talked to you about that when I was on the show with you guys. If you guys are doing something for the draft, we'll be doing something too. It'd be fun to kind of like hop in and out of each other's shows and intermingle and stuff and talk about the current pick just for, give us a link. We'll give you a link and we'll all hop in out individually from here, here and there.
Yeah, we gotta sit down. We gotta sit down and structure that, man. We haven't had time to effing do it, man. To be honest with you, we so busy with the day-to-day stuff. Who's got time to think about that draft? But you're right, man. We're gonna do something when we do get it structured and figured out how we want to go about it. I'll let you know what's going on, how we're gonna do it, man. It might not be a bad idea to do that.
That would be fun, yeah. And you're welcome for the idea if you haven't thought about it. I said you're welcome for the idea if you haven't thought about it.
I saw how that was playing out last year. People were going.
Yeah.
I was like, that was pretty cool, man.
It was a lot of fun, yeah. If you're doing that, we'd love to have you join us and vice versa.
I'm sure the invites will be flying, man. Be people from everywhere coming in and out.
We have fish and spaghetti.
Last year, 6th round. Nothing going on. EJ's like, what are you guys having for dinner tonight? I'm like, leftover pizza from yesterday's draft. He's like, well, I'm thinking about having some fish and spaghetti. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Triple R was with us. He's like, yeah, fish and spaghetti, motherfucker. Fish and spaghetti.
I can't believe you never had. That is totally a black thing, man. Totally a black thing.
Well, I mean, I'm Italian, eating a lot of spaghetti, but I just don't eat fish with it. I don't know.
It doesn't make sense to nobody but us because that's just how.
I don't know. Foster know about it.
Foster, you know about it? You must have dated a black chick, man. You had that. You must have dated a black chick. You know about that.
Yeah, no. I even joke all the time because we would always make deep fried catfish and mastacholi. I always mess with these guys. I'm like, I've never had fish and spaghetti, which is a lie. I have, but I'm finding a lot of churches do it too, and it was a Lent thing, man. But because it's an inexpensive meal for Ash Wednesday and Fridays, as long as you're not using a meat sauce, you can eat the spaghetti and you can eat the fish. It's weird because it's like we've determined this. I don't know if you guys remember, we were talking with Glenn Morgan about this, and it's kind of more of a Midwest thing than anything else we found. Like Shorty was even looking in the Southeast and stuff, and he couldn't even find it. And then Joe from the Barroom Network walks into a restaurant in Central Michigan, and it's on the menu.
Yeah,
fish and spaghetti. So
on the menu.
Yeah, and that's it's I don't know. It's from what my beginnings with this is from Lent, because it was something that you would eat during the 40 days of Lent. You could eat it on Ash Wednesday, and you usually had something like that, or cheese pizza, or tuna on Fridays.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Hey, Shorty, I tell you,
my side.
I know an 88-year-old grandmother that works in the basement of a church that will give Kitty a run for her money, because you'll be ready to kiss her damn mouth. Fish, catfish nuggets, and spaghetti. Boy, I'm telling you, that is so good. It is so good. You just put a little bit of hot sauce on that fish. And I'm telling you, that mixture, when you put it in your mouth, you take a piece of fish, take a little scoop of spaghetti, and that mixture in your mouth, I'm telling you, you're gonna want to kiss that old lady, wet kiss, tongue kiss. She's gonna be like,
you want to slap somebody.
Be like, baby, take them dentures out right quick.
On that show, PJ was asking, like, does anybody have a good recipe for blackening seasoning? Because the one I use is too salty. So we actually looked up one and found one for him, and he used it that didn't have any salt. He made catfish and spaghetti and sent me the picture with that blackening seasoning, and it looked fucking delicious. So I'm not talking shit at all. It was nothing. It was new to me. But now I get it, and so I might be willing to try it one day. I'll be honest.
Can we put this to bed after a year, Shorty? It's only been a year.
It's close enough to a year. Yeah,
it'll be a year in April when the draft's coming up.
Hey, hold on, man. It might have been longer than that. Didn't you ask me that shit when we was at the bar room, man? I believe you did.
Who, me?
No, because the first time we talked about that was on the draft last year in the 6th round after the bar room.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I mean,
Samo was on with us. He might have talked to you about it, though.
When I first brought it up, see, Shorty acted like he never heard of it. So
yeah, well, I hadn't, but now I have. It's clearly something that I wasn't aware of.
I got to get out of here, fellas, man. It ain't gonna be long for the lady.
So do I. I got to get out here and go to bed. I got to get up early to go to work. Listen, all you guys in chat, STC, GCA, Cliff Victoria, Doug Van Doren, AC Adam, J2K, Eric Christensen, you guys, Steve Grunwald hanging out with us tonight, Vizzy Joe
Johnson, Illinois Jones, AC Adam,
hit him up,
J2K, Brewha 7.
Mo Behrman, Mr. Mayhem, Tony Moy,
Illinois Jones. Send us an email so you can get on the show here, man. You said you were going to jump on. I saw it in the chat. Send us an email and we'll send it up.
Get it? Yeah, it's the email is in the description of this show. Every show, it's on the description of the channel. Please email us, BearsCountryPodcast@gmail.com. Come join us, man. Thanks
for hanging out, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks for hanging out, man.
We love you and appreciate you, and we can promise you this: we would not be doing this without you. We can promise you that much. Nomad, dude, much love. Thank you for coming on and hanging out with us tonight, man. It's been great talking to you again. Good hearing your voice again.
I appreciate you guys for having me, man. I'm the lucky one, man.
Tell people where they can find you at, Nomad.
Please do.
Find me on Twitter at Nomad Networking. And you can find me at the Nomad Network, on Nomad Live, on Nomad at Night, Monday through Friday. Monday and Fridays at 3 p.m. Central, Tuesday through Thursday at 1 p.m. Central, and Sunday at 8 p.m. Central for Nomad at Night.
Beautiful. And you will find us again here next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. On Bears Country Podcast, on Bears Country Productions. And I think next week we might have the British Bears coming back out again with Chris Watts and Jason, UK Bears. So look out for that if we do. And Nomad, again, thank you so much. You guys, you know how much I love you guys. Appreciate you guys and all of you in chat. On a 1, 2, 3. Let's end this on a 1, 2, 3 Bears. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Bears.